on-the-go keto items at Costco. We're all busy. I'm busy. I'm a busy dad. You're busy. We are all busy. So let's see what keto on-the-go items Costco has. All different categories, whether it's refrigerated, whether it's snack foods, you name it. We'll find what you can take with you on the go and still maintain that healthy, clean, ketogenic lifestyle. Let's head on in. We're gonna do it different this time. We're gonna start in the perishable section because I always start in the snack section. So let's see what fresh stuff they have that will work on the go. Now, when I'm talking on the go type stuff, I'm talking, you know, like some of the deli meats that you can bring, some of the snacks, things that you could literally put in your pocket or bring in the car and keep in the glove box with you. That way you're not looking at just handfuls of nuts all the time. You're looking at things that are actually quick grab and go snacks.
After this video, I want you to check out Helix. So this is a kind of mattress that is super unique. So what makes them extra cool is they utilize this sleep quiz. And now personally, I'm a side sleeper and that can be kind of difficult. Like a lot of times mattresses put a bunch of really just uncomfortable pressure points on me. And being that I was overweight before and being like how I'm built now, I'm really sensitive to how the mattress is. So the neat thing about Helix is you take this sleep quiz and it kind of helps you figure out what mattress you should use. And then you can also factor in, you know, your loved ones or your spouse or whoever you're sharing a bed with, which makes it really, really cool. So the neat thing with this is that it just gets shipped right to your doorstep. It's super easy. You pop it up and just let it inflate and you've got a mattress. So I've been sleeping on the Helix for a while and it's just definitely a different feeling from other mattresses. Like normally you end up getting a lot of pressure points, or a lot of the memory foam mattresses, I used to feel like I would just sink into them and didn't have the support that I actually needed. And what's interesting about the side sleeper version is it's a little bit softer in the shoulders, but it offers a lot more support in the hips. So there's like 1,000 little micro springs that offer different levels of support and tension. So it makes it really cool. And my wife and I were these kinds of people that never wanted to buy a mattress online. Like we used to see ads for mattresses that would get delivered and we thought it was kind of crazy. Like it didn't make sense. Like you always have to sleep on something first. But the reality is when you go to a mattress store and you sleep on a bed for 15 seconds, it's not giving you an accurate representation. So the neat thing about Helix is if you order one of their mattresses, they deliver it and then you can sleep on it for 100 nights, make a decision if it works for you. And if it doesn't work for you, no big deal, 100% money back guarantee. So it's pretty awesome with that. So if you want to check them out, there is a code down below that you can use, or you can use that link. So you go to helixsleep.com/DeLauer, DELAUER. So again, that's Helix, HELIX sleep.com/DeLauer. And that's going to save you $200 off of a Helix mattress as well. So again, use that link down below in the description. And a big thanks to Helix for the support on this channel and for sponsoring some content so that we can keep doing what we do, but also for helping me sleep a little bit better since sleep has always been kind of a broken concept for me. So again, that link is down below and check it out and go take their sleep quiz and see which one will work for you. Now let's get to shopping.
All right, see if there's anything you can find here that I could just bring with me. Oh, here's a perfect idea. Like, okay, if you're on the go in the morning and you need something calorically dense, you want to be stacking your calories towards the morning on a ketogenic diet. Okay, you don't want to be having your calories later in the day. Everyone wants to have like a light breakfast. You really should be leaning towards having a heavier breakfast, because what the reason is you don't want to be stacking your calories later in the day when your circadian rhythm is really aligned with you eating lighter after the sun goes down. If you eat more in the morning, you're actually less inclined to eat more calories throughout the rest of the day. And studies have demonstrated that multiple times. A study published in the journal BMC Medical Genomics had demonstrated that if you were to consume more of your fat calories in the morning, it worked more in your favor because storage genes, as far as like what actually allows you to store fat on the genetic level, were lower in the morning. So these things, go for the higher fat version here. We have the spinach and bell pepper. This one's egg white. This one, the uncured bacon one, this one's actually good to go. And it's a little bit more calorically dense, and you can just really, you don't even have to heat them up. So we've got egg, cottage cheese, super easy. I mean, there's a few things in there that maybe aren't perfect, but when it comes down to being on the go, you've got 310 calories right out the gate. Perfect. Oh, this is cool. These snack sticks. No nitrates or nitrates added, no fillers, 16 grams of protein and 50% lower sodium. Okay, I mean, they're not individually wrapped, but let's see what this has. Like my Paw Patrol Band-Aid. Beef, water, sea salt, celery powder, vinegar, garlic, natural flavor. Wow, natural sheep casing, a half a stick. So you look at that serving there. So it's 200 calories in a full stick, 16 grams of fat in a full stick, about 650 milligrams of sodium in a full stick. So it's a pretty decent amount of sodium, but not too bad considering that you're getting 16 grams of protein in a stick. These are kind of cool. What's the price on them? $13.59, and we have, how many sticks? 12 sticks. So a little over $1 a stick. But you're getting more protein than you would in, like, say, a chomp stick or something. So I'm gonna try these out. They're super clean either way. Okay, what about these? Yeah, these are cool on the go. I've gotten these before. Because you can just pop one in a Ziploc bag and you're good. You're already ready to rock and roll. So chicken breast, potato starch, extra virgin olive oil, lemon juice, dextrose, dehydrated onion, some natural flavors. Okay, it's not perfect. 2 skewers is gonna get you 24 grams of protein with almost 700 milligrams of sodium. But what I'm really looking for is, okay, I don't see canola oil. I don't see potato, excuse me, not potato. I don't mind the potato starch. I don't see any kind of like other weird rice starches or anything like that. Potato's not a grain, so I'm more okay with potato starch. I also don't see soybean oil. I don't see soy lecithin. So overall, I think it's okay as an on-the-go item. So I'll go ahead and grab it. That's actually nice to have. Oh, here we go. I like this, little snap cheeses. This is good quality mozzarella. 70 calories each one. Yeah, like this would be perfect. Now, usually I don't recommend going with the softer cheeses. Usually I recommend the harder cheeses whenever you can, because the more aged, the better. If it's aged cheese, it's going to have a lower lactose content. It's going to break down some of the casein proteins that can be hard to break down. The thing with mozzarella is it's a soft cheese, so it's going to have a much richer casein content. But in terms of just being on the go, it's kind of nice. I'm not going to use it because I don't really need this kind of cheese in my life. It's just extra calories for me. But still, if you like cheese and you're on the go, that's a perfect way to stay keto and have that. These things are awesome, by the way. I know.
Love
yeah.
those. I get the coconut milk one.
Yeah.
I've had almost all of them, and they're my favorite. Okay, you have to get this.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
And of all places, you get a picture in Costco too. Awesome.
I idolize you.
That's awesome. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
That's cool. That is the best part. Okay, so here's the deal. Like with on-the-go stuff, I could spend a half an hour talking to you about nuts, so I'm not gonna do that because I've done plenty of videos surrounding nuts. So let's just forget it. I'll just give you the short version of this. On-the-go nuts, macadamia nuts, Brazil nuts, those are really gonna be the ones you wanna go with, okay? Let's see, well, speaking of which, this is relatively new that they have this here. They didn't have Brazil nuts before. Super high in selenium. If you're looking for some thyroid support, I would highly recommend Brazil nuts. The selenium is very, very good and is required for the proper conversion of thyroid within the body. So definitely a good find there. On the go, seaweed snacks are so awesome. Speaking of the thyroid, iodine. You need iodine, okay? So iodine is going to be the precursor to the thyroid hormone. So iodine then gets converted into the usable form of T3. So T4, and basically you have iodine comes in, the thyroid utilizes it to create T4 and ultimately convert into T3, regulating your metabolism and all the other fun stuff your thyroid does. Is it good on keto? Yes. Is it good on everything else? Yes. It's just a keto-friendly snack that's also good for your thyroid. And $8.99 for organic, which is really nice to see. Now, the one downside, as I mentioned before, is there is sunflower oil, but the benefit is sesame oil will actually cancel out some of the negative attributes of the sunflower oil. Let's keep rocking. Oh, I got a couple of things. Okay, so you know within my grocery haul videos, one of my favorite things to do is to look at what has been ditched, right? I've talked about this before, like what are people ditching? Someone was doing something keto. They were like, I'm gonna get these no sugar keto bars, this is great. But then they saw the wisps and they ditched the sweet treat for the wisps. Good on them. Okay, they're like, oh, I want something sweet. And they're like, you know what? They probably watched a TD video and said, I'm gonna go for some wisps instead. Another great on-the-go snack, which I don't need more of these, but I'm seeing some hecka cool stuff here. Check out this. Okay, Parm Crisp now has a ranch snack mix. I'm concerned there's going to be some weird stuff in here. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's a big ingredient list. Almonds, Parmesan cheese, that's all good. Cashews, not my favorite nut. It's a high carb nut. Pistachio kernels, seasoning, whey, but this isn't the seasoning powder, something into the world. Buttermilk, garlic powder, maltodextrin, sour cream, onion powder, tomato, yeast extract, which is basically MSG, Tarula yeast, cultured non-fat milk, sugar, whey protein concentrate, salt, paprika, citric acid, grapeseed oil, parm crisps. I am disappointed. I really am, honestly, because they usually have really good stuff just in terms of like just the Parmesan crisps and stuff like that, but it looks like when they're getting into the nut category, they're adding some extra stuff in there. That's a lot of ingredients. That is like, I don't know. I just don't like the grapeseed oil. It's one of the worst possible oils you could use. So that is not a Thomas approved one. I'd rather just go for the wisps. Okay, whoa, this is cool. So this is cool because these are just straight up cheese bars. Cheese cultures, and enzymes and an auto for coloring. What's the price? 10 bucks? Ooh, a little steep, but 24 bars. So this way you're not bringing a bag of wisps, you're bringing 1 bar, and the serving size is 12 servings. So serving size is 2 bars, easy to track. You just bring 2 bars, so you put them in a Ziploc bag and you're good to go. I'm gonna try these. It's not organic or anything, but definitely keto friendly. I wouldn't really think the protein is not a complete protein. I know it gives like, it shows a little barbell and says 8 grams of protein, you're gonna get jacked because you're eating cheese. No, you need to eat jack cheese to get jacked. Come on. Everybody knows that. Great, you're right when the one that I'm gonna review, so you'll just get an answer. All right. So we got these guys, these are new. All right, so gluten-free keto crackers. Let's see what's in these guys. Okay, coconut, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, brown rice flour. That's a little bit of a bummer there. Tapioca flour, we've got almonds, hemp seeds, erythritol. Don't know why that would be in a cracker. Guess they're trying to give it a little bit of the sweetness and round out the flavor. Inulin from blue agave. I'm actually totally fine with that. People bag on inulin all the time. I'm more upset about the brown rice flour, but let's see, flax seeds, crispy brown rice, sea salt, coconut butter, baking powder, nutritional yeast. You know what? All in all, this is pretty interesting. I would say it's a decent on-the-go snack. Let's give it a try. Let's try it out. $7.99. At least it's organic. So everything that has an asterisk by it is going to indicate that it's organic, and the whole thing is organic. So that's at least going to counteract some of the negative attributes. At least, you know, we have brown rice flour, which I'm not a huge fan of, but at least it's organic, so you're not going to have as much of sort of the byproducts and probably the other glycosates and all the other stuff that would be on it. So let's give it a go. There you go. Give it a try.
So there is that though.
Ah, okay. All right, on the go. Is this going to work as a keto snack? They have changed it, so these bars are no longer going to be as good to go on keto. 22 grams of carbs, 10 of which is from fiber, 2 of which is from erythritol. Okay, that leaves you with 10 grams of net carbs still. That's gonna be too much for keto, so these are no longer good to go. These guys are always awesome. I know some stores you can get more individual packs. Makes it a little bit easier if you're like on the go and stuff like that. Still just a really good deal for $4.505 here though. If you wanted to just put a handful in a Ziploc bag, great thing to keep in the car with you, great thing to keep in the glove box with you. We actually want the fatty acids coming from pork because it's a better polyunsaturated and monounsaturated blend compared to just pure saturated fat that you might get in like some other kind of meats. Okay, let's see what else we got. We're in the refrigerated section here, so you know, whatever you bring with you that you're gonna get from this, keep in mind you're not gonna wanna leave it in your glove box. Or you might want to, you just might get a little sick. What is this? Yellowfin tuna in olive oil. I am the weirdo that will bring tuna with me. I will bring a can of tuna on the go with me because it's not necessarily what are you eating in the car. It's like what are you bringing with you on a day trip that you might be able to like, you know, perch up on a picnic table somewhere at a rest stop in the middle of Barstow or something, right? So like, no one's gonna judge you in Barstow at all. So if you wanted to eat a can of tuna at a rest stop, I think you'd be probably one of the healthier people doing that, right? So don't be afraid of it. Now the thing is a lot of times I get concerned with the olive oil type that is gonna be in a canned fish, but I do know that this Portofino uses actually a good olive oil. It's an Italian brand. So they use good quality meat, but also really good quality olive oil. So this is a great one. I'm actually gonna grab this because I know it's good. It's pretty rare to find a good quality olive oil in a can of tuna. I know it's a little bit pricey compared to normal tuna. So you've got what, 8 of them? Actually, it's not bad. A little over $1 a can, but at least you're getting, like that's a full-on meal that you could have right there. It's me. I hit this one every time, but it's worth it for me to bring it up again. do not make a keto sandwich on the go with this keto bread. Unless they've changed something, you still have modified wheat starch, wheat gluten, okay, lipopolysaccharide to the max in terms of when you consume that gluten, meaning it's going to affect your gut. Inulin, chicory root, that's not as big of a deal. The wheat protein isolate, don't like that so much, but the huge problem here is the soybean oil and the hydrogenated soybean oil. Trans fats are one of the best ways to contribute to visceral fat. Visceral fat is what the fat is that's underneath your organs that you can't see that gives you a pot belly. There are what are called glucocorticoid receptors within that visceral fat. Glucocorticoid receptors receive cortisol, and when they receive cortisol, it triggers more fat to accumulate, and it triggers what's called adipogenesis, which is fat accumulation. So even if you're doing keto or fasting, hydrogenated fats can contribute to that visceral fat, making it so that it's harder and harder for you to lose the belly. Plus, it's just downright unhealthy. So I know you want to make sandwiches when you're on the go. Trust me, I do too, but there's other options. I would recommend a company called Unbun. It's not a sponsor of this video. Okay, they have sponsored content, but Unbun is a good product. That's a good bread. There's some other ones that are out there. Anyway, let's keep going. One of the things, this is kind of funny, when you're on the go, I usually recommend bring some krill oil with you. Now, it's weird, krill oil, this is just Costco oriented, but I like to bring some fish oil with me if I know I'm gonna be on the road for a while. And here's why. Most of the time when you eat out, you're gonna be riddled with a bunch of soybean oil, a bunch of low quality fats. Omega-3s that you get from krill oil and stuff like that, they compete for absorption with omega-6s and low quality fats. So if you can get more omega-3s in at the same time that you're consuming some of these other not so good fats, it potentially can cancel out some of the effect. So if you think you're gonna be loaded with a bunch of omega-6 from corn oil and from soybean oil and all those cruddy oils that are in restaurant foods, it's good to keep some krill oil, calamari oil, high quality fish oil. Krill oil is a little bit more shelf stable than fish oil is, plus it has natural astaxanthin and pigment in there to protect it and keep it from getting oxidized. But you might be wondering, why was I going down the supplement aisle on a to-go, on the go run? That is just a good thing to keep in your glove box. It can help balance things out, and that's a Thomas hack for you that's gonna help you out a ton. Okay, I think that's about it here. Now, we have one thing we gotta go check for, but I'm gonna spare you the details. You don't have to be here for it. You can head out if you want, but we gotta look for an air fryer. They do, they got it, dude. Look at this. This, let's see. Doesn't have the price listed, but we know it's like 56 bucks. Yeah. Anyway, as always, everybody, keep it locked in here on my channel, and I will see you tomorrow. Quick note, if you're still here, air fryers are awesome to cook with on keto because you don't want to always be adding extra fat. That's not the idea. You want to still keep it as lean as possible so your body is forced to use your body fat for fuel, not just the fat that you're giving it through the diet. So if you use an air fryer, you can cook up meat without adding oil. You can cook up veggies without adding oil and make it dry and save yourself hundreds of calories throughout the course of the day. Whatever, it's worth it. So as always, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for being here.